This is a final hearing involving the Caesar child. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Ms. Lucero is with us representing the father, Mr. Caesar, who is with us. Ms. Grant is with us representing the mother, Ms. Riojas, who is with us. And Ms. Archer is with us. She was appointed guardian ad litem for mother, Ms. Riojas. She's with us. I have Amy Bailey and Shawn Ryan in the waiting room.
Amy Bailey will be my first witness, Your Honor, and Shawn Ryan is the caseworker on the case.
Okay.
And Your Honor, before we get started, could the attorneys have a breakout room? We went to mediation and we were kind of getting close to a possible agreement. And we've had a couple of emails go back and forth before this hearing. So I was going to see if we have an agreement or not.
Sure, we've got an hour, so yeah, I'll do that. And let me, I've read the reports based on, Ms. Gutierrez, based on the report I've read, I assume that the department has abandoned the pleadings, the middle ground.
Yes, Your Honor, we are abandoning that pleading as well as the termination grounds. We are not seeking termination of either parent today.
Okay, so we can go forward. We don't have to wait the 180 days since you've abandoned the middle ground. So, okay, I'll put you, all the lawyers in a breakout room.
Okay.
And we will see y'all when you come back. Let me get y'all checked off here.
Thanks.
Okay, it looks like we're all back. Where do we stand?
Your Honor, I think Mr. Caesar would just like to go forward and just see what you rule.
Okay. All right, then I have no one in the waiting room. Ms. Gutierrez, you can call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Amy Bailey as its witness.
Okay. Ms. Bailey, if you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I couldn't hear her. Could y'all?
No.
Is that better?
Yeah, I can barely hear you. If you could speak up maybe a little or turn up your volume. All right, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Amy, who do you work for?
The Texas Department of Family and Protective Services.
And what do you do for them?
I'm an investigator.
And in 2024, did you investigate a family with the child Kingston Riojas?
Yes.
And was the mother's name Desiree Riojas?
Yes.
And the alleged father Darien Marquez Caesar?
Yes.
Thank you. And is the date of birth of Kingston November 4th of 2024?
Yes.
When did the department receive its intake on this child?
Excuse me, I received the intake on November 5th, 2024.
And what were the intake allegations?
A neglectful supervision of Kingston by Desiree Riojas.
And what were the details provided in the intake?
That Kingston was born at Moore County Hospital and had to be transferred to Amarillo to BSA Hospital for respiratory issues. And that Ms. Riojas had tested positive for methamphetamines on October 10th, 2024.
And based on receiving that intake,
Teresa, I'm sorry. I had a dog situation. Could you just repeat that answer, please?
Can you go ahead and repeat that answer, please, Amy?
Yes, the allegations were neglectful supervision of Kingston Riojas by Desiree Riojas, that he was born at Moore County Hospital and had respiratory issues and was transferred to BSA Hospital in Amarillo, and that she had tested positive for methamphetamines on October 10th, 2024.
Now, based on receiving that intake, did you attempt to make contact with Ms. Riojas?
Yes, I did.
And did you first speak with her by phone on November 6th of 2024?
Yes, I did.
And did she invite you into her apartment?
Yes.
Okay, so from the phone you made in-person contact, is that correct?
Correct.
All right, and what did Ms. Riojas state regarding her history with the department?
She acknowledged her previous history. She acknowledged that she had two previous children. One, our oldest daughter, was placed with her parents. She had another child later that she gave up for adoption.
Okay, and did she agree to have a family team meeting regarding Kingston?
Yes,
And was that family team meeting held the next day on November 7th?
yes, ma'am.
In that family team meeting, what diagnosis did Miss Riojas disclose that she had been given before?
That she had been diagnosed with bipolar.
Okay, did she say whether or not she was on medication at that time?
She was not on medication at the time.
Did she express a willingness to work services with the department during that meeting?
Yes, she did.
Okay. And based on her wanting to work services, what did the department do to ensure the safety of the child?
We implemented a safety plan with Miss Riojas and a friend of hers, Miss Adams. Miss Riojas agreed to move in with Miss Adams and be supervised at all times with Kingston.
And did Ms. Riojas also state her intent to get drug treatment at Senecor?
Yes,
Okay, thank you. Now, once that safety plan was in place, was Kingston released to the released from the hospital to Ms. Riojas?
yes.
And who else was that safety plan made with?
Miss Riojas's friend, Brenna Adams.
And could you give us more details on that safety plan? For example, the 24-hour supervision.
Yes, that Miss Riojas agreed to move in with Miss Adams to be supervised with Kingston 24 hours a day.
Okay. However, on November 14th, let me ask a different question. Following that family team meeting and implementing that safety plan, did y'all meet with Desiree and Kingston and Brenna on November 14th of 2024?
Yes, we did.
And was that with the family-based safety services worker?
Yes,
Can you briefly tell us what the family-based safety services program is?
it's a program where the worker goes in and works with the family in the home to prevent removal of the child. They help connect the family with resources that are needed to help strengthen their family.
Okay, and so was this meeting with the family-based safety services worker, you and Desiree, Kingston, and Brenna, was that a part of having Miss Riojas in that family-based safety services program?
Yes,
And was that an effort to avoid removal?
yes.
During that meeting, what concerns did you observe about Desiree with Kingston?
The manner in which she was holding Kingston, he would pull his hands up to his face and she would pull him down in an aggressive manner. The bassinet that Kingston was supposed to sleep in was observed to be full of laundry, his infant carrier. So during the meeting, the family-based worker, Andrea Lewis, had her remove everything out of the crib and explain the concerns of, that he needs to be in a crib by himself without any blankets or pillows. She stated that he was already rolling over and that she would put a blanket in there to keep him from rolling. And worker Lewis advised her that that was not appropriate, that she could not put anything into the bassinet with him.
And regarding Desiree's demeanor towards the child, were there points where you felt that she was frustrated?
Yes,
Okay, and did you observe her as well aggressively moving the child's hands away from his face?
yes.
Okay. Now, following that meeting, or was it during that meeting that you asked Desiree to do an oral swab?
It was during that meeting.
Okay, and what occurred when you asked her to do the oral swab?
She agreed to complete the test. And during the test, she was moving the swab around in her mouth, said that it felt different or felt funny, and was kind of what appeared to be chewing on it. And it ended up breaking off of the stick. And so I had her expel the piece into the tube, the collection tube.
Okay. And then following that, did you later on November 15th, 2024, let me rephrase that question. What led to the department determining that removal was necessary for the child?
After we had left the home on the 14th from the family-based assessment, Worker Lewis received information that Miss Riojas had left Miss Adams' home and had returned to her own apartment with Kingston.
And based on that information, did you make contact with Miss Riojas at her home?
Yes, I did.
And what did you observe?
She was in the home along with a gentleman who was identified as Kingston's father.
Okay, and was that gentleman's name Darien Caesar?
Yes,
Now, going back to that safety plan where Miss Riojas was to be supervised 24 hours with Kingston, was that only with Miss Brenna?
yes, Brenna Adams.
Okay. And so Mr. Caesar was not a part of that safety plan, correct?
No, he was not.
And had Desiree signed that safety plan that she would be supervised by Brenna Adams?
Yes,
Additionally, had Ms. Riojas provided any information about the child's father prior to you seeing him at her apartment?
no.
And what information or how did she respond when asked about the child's father?
She told me that he was not involved and did not provide a name.
Okay, so this incident where you met Mr. Caesar at her apartment, that was the first time of knowing his name, is that correct?
Yes,
And was that also the first time meeting him?
yes,
And at this point, did the department have concerns of methamphetamine use by Ms. Riojas?
yes,
Were we also concerned about the child's physical safety in her care?
yes,
And were there concerns about Ms. Riojas's mental health?
yes,
Did the department feel that the child was in immediate danger?
yes.
And would a kick-out order to remove one of the parents have solved the problem?
No,
And at that point, Mr. Caesar was an alleged father, is that correct?
correct.
And so that would have left the child without a legal guardian to care for it, is that correct?
Yes.
Additionally, what did Mr. Caesar claim to know about any of the allegations?
He did not know that there was a CPS report. He lived in Lubbock at the time and was here visiting Miss Riojas in Kingston.
Okay, and was it concerning that he was in a relationship with Miss Riojas and unaware that any of these concerns existed?
Yes,
Okay. And since Ms. Riojas had broken the safety plan, was the family-based safety services program no longer an option for her?
yes,
And as well, a parent-child safety placement would not have solved the immediate danger to the child, is that correct?
yes.
Can you please describe the department's reasonable efforts to prevent removal?
We had put in a safety plan to well, first of all, we had a family team meeting that involved her, Miss Riojas, and her parents, as well as her support, Brenna Adams. We had implemented a safety plan so that Kingston was able to remain with Miss Riojas and attempted to offer family-based services to mitigate the risk in the home.
Now, what occurred, as far as reasonable efforts to place the child with the other parent, Mr. Caesar, again, he was an alleged father, not an adjudicated one, is that correct?
Yes,
And also, when we discussed the possibility of placing the child with him, had he moved in with Ms. Riojas?
no, when the night of removal, he was here visiting. He told me that he lived in Lubbock with his parents.
Okay. And what concerns were there with his living at home with his parents in Lubbock?
I believe it's his stepfather, had a murder charge. That was the main concern.
Okay, and so were we concerned that that would not be a safe household for the child?
Yes.
Okay, I pass the witness.
Ms. Grant?
Miss Bailey, did Mr. Caesar ask to have custody of the child?
He asked me that night if the child could stay with him. I explained that not at that time due to not having any information on him, that was
Did
our
he-
meeting.
Did he offer to provide you with that information in order to get custody of the child as soon as possible?
Yes, he agreed to meet with me the next morning.
And did he do that meeting with you?
Yes, he did.
And at that point, is that when you started the investigation and discovered the murder charge of the other individual in the home?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any information about this case current day beyond the investigation and removal?
No, ma'am.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Well, thank you, Ms. Lucero.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Bailey, in reviewing your investigative report, would you agree with me that Mr. Caesar was the non-offending parent when the child was removed?
Yes.
Okay. And he had advised you that he didn't know that CPS was involved when you first met him. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I guess maybe the investigation into his family members, I guess came up later. I don't see it in your, unless I'm missing it, but no, I don't see it in your investigative report. What I see here, it says Mr. Caesar should be considered placement of Kingston pending the results of the drug screen and further investigation of other household members.
Yes.
Right. And then I guess later on, y'all made the, you made this report, I guess the 15th of November. Do you know when y'all did that background check on his family members?
It was, I believe, November 19th.
November. So after the report, okay. Did you ever, did you reach out to Mr. Caesar and let him know that, that if he was, that there were concerns about one of his family members?
Yes. And he had also said that he was at that time going to move here and reside with Miss Riojas for the time being.
Okay. Did he advise you that he wanted to move in with Ms. Riojas? Well, granted, because they had a prior relationship, but also to help her and they could maybe work together to get Kingston back?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Ms. Archer?
I have no questions, Judge.
Ms. Swiggins?
I have no questions.
All right. Anything further of this witness?
No, Your Honor, we ask that she be released.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Bailey. I've released you so you can go about what's left of your afternoon.
Thank you.
And the department calls Shawn Ryan as its witness.
All right.
Who do you work for?
I work for St. Francis Ministries.
And are you the assigned permanency specialist on this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And let's see, recently we filed a second supplemental petition, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I ask that the court take judicial notice of that name correction for the child as Kingston David Caesar Riojas.
All right, so noted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Shawn, can you tell us what a permanency specialist does?
I act as a caseworker on this specific case. I make sure the parents are complying with their family plan of service, do checkups on the kids, visits, things like that.
And do you also help the parents reunify with their children?
Yes, ma'am.
And did the parents in this case, did the mom work all of her services?
Yes, ma'am.
And did she demonstrate changes in her parenting to create a safe environment for the child?
Yes, ma'am.
And did the father work all of his services?
I'll accept it. A BIP evaluation.
Can you tell us what BIP stands for?
Batters Intervention Program. And it's just to address domestic violence issues that may have been in the past or in regards to the case.
And was that BIP, that Batters Intervention Prevention Program, was that based on a prior assault in a different relationship?
Yes, ma'am, based on Darien's history.
Your Honor, I'm
So-
gonna object to hearsay.
Overrule.
Okay, so in regards to Ms. Riojas, there's no domestic violence concerns between Mr. Caesar and Ms. Riojas, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. And did Mr. Caesar also demonstrate that he could take care of the child in his visits?
Yes, ma'am, he did a good job in his visits. They both did their visits together at the time when they were having supervised visits.
And the child was reunified in the home where they were both residing, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
However, what occurred on the day the child was reunified into the home?
When I was driving over there to Darien's, well, I should say Desiree's apartment, I had texted Darien to wait there. He told me he was going to be leaving soon, just to visit a friend. I told him to wait there because I needed to, give him the placement paperwork and everything. I told Desiree that she's allowed to go pick up Kingston from his placement, so we could do so we could put him back with Desiree and Darien. And then Desiree called me the next day saying that Darien left that night.
Okay, since he has left, to your knowledge, how many times has he visited the child in person?
Desiree told me that he last visited Kingston 2 months ago.
Okay, and do you have the date? What is the date that the child was actually placed in the home?
May 25th, I believe. No, 28th. I apologize.
May 28th of 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you'll wait until I finish my question before answering, okay?
Oh, I apologize.
That's okay. And does Ms. Riojas also have or give visits to Mr. Caesar by FaceTime or video call?
Yes, ma'am.
However, has she stated that she is the one that initiates those calls?
Objection leading, Your Honor.
Sustain.
Who initiates the calls, the video calls for Darien to see the child?
Desiree reported to me that she does.
Okay. What has Desiree reported as far as Mr. Caesar's involvement with the child since he has moved out?
Well, Desiree told me that she provides pictures. She FaceTimes him from time to time. Gives Darien an update on how Kingston is. But that Darien hasn't had a chance to come up to see Kingston for face to face.
Okay. How much support, to your knowledge, has Darien given Desiree since he moved out for the care of the child?
None.
Okay. To your knowledge, has he taken the child to any of his doctor's appointments? Can you speak louder?
No, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay. So is it fair to say, actually, let me ask as an open-ended question. Who is the primary caretaker of the child?
Desiree Riojas.
Who takes care of the child's daily needs for his physical needs as well as his medical needs?
Desiree Riojas.
Who follows up with any of his medical requirements?
Desiree.
Okay. Who ensures that the child is fed and sleeps well and is in a safe environment?
Desiree.
Are we asking the court today to name Desiree Riojas as the primary managing conservator?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is Darien's living situation at this time?
Darien reported to me that he is living with a friend in Colorado City.
Has he provided that friend's name to you?
No.
Has he provided any background information on the friend?
No, at this time I don't know who lives there.
Has he stated whether or not he intends to stay at that apartment or that place of living long term?
I believe it's just temporary at the moment.
What concerns do we have about the home stability of Darien Caesar?
We don't know who lives in that home, the background, the criminal history, if there is any there. We would need to run background checks on people that live there. And then as far as Darien having his own form of transportation and a job to support Kingston.
So does he have his own transportation?
Not at the moment. He reported to me that his car is currently in the shop right now.
Okay. And does he doesn't have a stable living environment, would you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it sounds like as far as stability, to have a specific place to take the child, a car to transport, and knowledge of whether or not that home is safe, it sounds like that's just a really big question mark. Would you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you also agree that an unknown environment cannot be determined to be a safe environment?
Correct.
Okay. Are we asking the court to order Mr. Caesar to pay child support?
Yes, ma'am.
And should that child support be based on minimum wage?
Yes, ma'am.
To your knowledge, does Mr. Caesar have any other children?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Are we also asking the court to order him to pay cash medical support?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it your understanding that the child will continue to be covered by Medicaid once the department is dismissed out?
Yes, ma'am.
What type of visitation do you think Mr. Caesar should have with the child?
Supervised visitations with Desiree Riojas until the stuff that is, like I said, his job, his everything like that is figured out, and Desiree deems it fit for him to be able to take him.
Okay, so in the absence of an agreement between Desiree and Caesar, we're asking the court to order supervised visitation for Mr. Caesar. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And would that be in the child's best interest?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, in order for Mr. Caesar to be named a possessory conservator, we have to rebut the parental presumption that he should be named a joint managing conservator. Or do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe that it would be contrary to the emotional well-being of the child for Mr. Caesar to be named the managing conservator?
Yes, ma'am.
Would that be due to the absence that he has had in the child's life since the child was placed back home?
Correct.
Would it also be due to his lack of involvement, not only in visiting the child, but also just in the medical care for the child?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I pass the witness.
Ms. Grant?
Mr. Ryan, do you have any concerns about Desiree Riojas if she were to be named sole managing conservator?
No, ma'am.
And do you believe that Desiree has demonstrated an ability to offer the father the opportunity to be involved in the child's life?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe that she is currently providing a safe and stable environment for the child?
Yes, ma'am.
Does she hold a job consistently?
Yes, ma'am.
She has consistent transportation?
Yes, ma'am.
And she completed all her services in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And in regard to the father, do you believe that, strike that, let me start again, Your Honor. Mr. Ryan, do you believe that it is in the best interest of the child for the father to pay the child support requested?
Yes, ma'am.
And has the father contacted you recently?
Yeah, he maintains contact with me once a month. Or a
Once a
couple
month?
times a month. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
He
Does
he maintains contact with me.
Thank you. And how long has he been telling you that his transportation has been in the shop?
I believe it's been a couple months now.
Okay, so we have heard for a couple of months that he's trying to get his transportation fixed and he's not been able to accomplish that, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And having reliable transportation would be important if he were to have anything other than supervised visitation with Kingston. Would you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know whether he has suitable accommodations or supplies to have Kingston without supervision?
I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit. Can you repeat the question?
My apologies. Do you know if the father has reasonable supplies and necessities to be able to have Kingston unsupervised?
I don't.
Pass the witness, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Lucero.
Mr. Ryan, you were here when Ms. Bailey was testifying, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, and she had stated that I believe Ms. Riojas had self-reported that she'd previously had been diagnosed bipolar.
Yes, ma'am, I heard that.
Okay, and at that time, whenever CPS became involved in the child and her life, she wasn't on any type of medication. Is that correct?
From what I know, no, ma'am, she was not on anything.
Okay. And what about now? Is she on any type of medication, or does she see a doctor on a regular basis, or do you know?
I don't know.
Okay, so during the pendency of this case and before the child was placed back with Ms. Riojas, did the department follow up onto whether or not the bipolar diagnosis was correct, or if she was taking required medication?
Can you repeat the question one more time, ma'am?
Yeah, it wasn't a very good question. During the pendency of this case, did the department follow up on whether Ms. Riojas was in fact diagnosed with bipolar disorder?
Yeah, it was on her background check and everything like that. But we did also send her to therapy to talk about those issues as well, individual therapy and counseling.
Okay. And so, and just to be clear, she's not required, or is she required to take any type of medications for her bipolar disorder, or do you know?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Now, during the pendency of this case, before Kingston was placed back with in the home of Ms. Riojas, Ms. Riojas and Mr. Caesar were together. Is that right?
They were,
under
yes.
this- Okay. And at that point, would you agree with me that Mr. Caesar was supportive of the issues that Ms. Riojas had that caused the child to be removed?
Yeah, that'd be a fair question to say.
Okay. And as far as services, besides the BIP evaluation, he was required to do complete counseling and parenting classes, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And he completed those, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And he was also ordered to take a, let me make sure I have this right, to take a, I guess, some type of drug, well, I don't know. You might know the name better. I'm sorry. I thought I had it right in front of me. Oh, a drug education classes.
I know, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And were those ordered or recommended due to the issues that Ms. Riojas had?
One more time, ma'am. I apologize.
Oh, no, that's fine. These drug education classes, are those offered to, let's say, a non-offending parent so they can see like red flags or issues that might pop up with another parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And he completed that class too, correct?
Yeah, he was discharged. They said that he wasn't needed for any outpatient treatment or anything like that since he was not struggling with drugs at the time.
Okay. All right. And then now, whenever you stated that while they were still together, the parents visited Kingston together during the supervised visits. Is that correct?
They did, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you said that those visits went well.
They did.
Okay. Now, there's been some
At first, I should add actually, at first it took some time for that to happen, but eventually over time that did happen.
Okay.
Both sides were very rocky at the very beginning.
Okay. And so when you said at the very beginning, how many visits in before things got settled in?
I would probably say maybe 2-3 months in.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. And how long did Mr. Caesar have supervised visits with Kingston overall?
Throughout the life of the case until he was returned, up until the point he was returned in May.
Okay. And did Mr. Caesar regularly visit the child?
Yes, ma'am. They both did at the same time. They went to
Okay.
visits together.
And as far as medical, I know there's been talk in the past about medical issues for Kingston. Do you know currently what medical issues he may suffer from?
The medical issues have kind of dispersed. At the very beginning, he was having a lot of breathing and eating issues. So they had to take him to see a specialist in Dallas. And he got a bronchoscopy. I think, I don't know the exact term it
Okay,
is
you're
for the
fine.
kids. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to check, evaluate his throat and make sure that he can swallow. They changed his formula a little bit. He's been a very sick baby throughout the life of the case. But as of right now, nothing. He's returned to his normal activities. He had a club foot as well. He had a procedure done on that. He was wearing a brace for a little bit. He's out of that now. If his breathing does happen, where he's struggling to breathe at night, she does have an oxygen machine for him that he's supposed to be on overnight, but she hasn't had to use that in a while. Up to
Okay.
date.
All right. So when you said breathing machine, is it one of those breathing treatments or just like a little oxygen mask? Or do
It's
you know?
oxygen to give him oxygen, yes, because when he gets sick, his pathway and his airways get really clogged up. So it's a precaution to help him breathe.
Okay. Now, when you've had contact, you said you've had ongoing contact with Mr. Caesar. Has he advised you that he believes that Kingston should be with Ms. Riojas?
I don't believe so. We've never like had that conversation. It was
Okay.
more of a just checking on about where he's
Okay.
at, really.
All right. And would you agree with me that well, you had stated earlier that he's been living in Colorado City, Texas, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is it your understanding that that's where he left to after he moved out from Ms. Riojas's home?
Yes, ma'am. He's been there
Okay.
since.
And would you agree with me that he has struggled financially, like finding a job and things like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But again, he has tried to remain in contact with the child through Ms. Riojas, and he has been in contact with you.
He's been in contact with me. With Miss Riojas, it sounds like it's not been as consistent as it should be, considering
Okay.
it's his son.
But that's just based on information that Ms. Riojas has shared with you, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you were asked if you believe that that Mr. Caesar's visits be supervised, and you said yes, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is that forever, or what is it y'all are
I believe I did
recommending?
state, I stated before that until Desiree deems it fit to that, he has his own reliable source of transportation, and that's been consistent, a job, and that's been consistent. I believe that can be worked out in the future, but we want to definitely see him acquire those things first.
And I understand that, Mr. Ryan. I understand that y'all want him to have good transportation to be able to transport the child, things like that. What about, have you ever had any contact with Mr. Caesar's mom? Have you ever had conversations with her?
I have not.
Okay. All right. Now, would you agree with me that once everyone's out of the case and just Ms. Riojas and Mr. Caesar and the child are left, and that it is possible that if he completes what y'all want him to complete, that Ms. Riojas would still have the power to just cut off any kind of contact with the child if she chooses to do so?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to speculation.
Your Honor, I'm just asking if it's possible.
That overruled. You can answer.
Can you repeat the question one more time? The last half of that question? I
Yeah.
apologize.
Let me just kind of cut to the chase. If we leave the decision just to Ms. Riojas to decide when Mr. Caesar can see the child, would you agree with me that that could cause issues for him in the future?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so you don't believe if she had all the power to decide whether or not he sees the child and she says no? I mean, what avenue would he have?
I think that Mrs. Riojas has done a good job of providing pictures, things like that, to Darien to try to keep him involved. From what I understand, and from what mother's been reporting to me, is that she's been the one reaching out and trying to keep him involved with Mr. Caesar. So.
Okay. All right, Mr. Ryan. And I know you're not the only one making these decisions. I know things are staffed and everybody kind of chips in their thoughts on that. But wouldn't you agree that, just from your opinion, that it might be better, instead of just leaving it up to the mom to decide when Mr. Caesar can see the child, that the court consider some type of step-up visitation plan that he has to comply, like with, like, let's say a couple of supervised visits and then ease into more visits with the child?
That'd be possible. Yeah, I feel like.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Archer.
Mr. Ryan, does Desiree Riojas, does she have a good support system?
She does.
And has she generally understood things that you've told her throughout the course of this case?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you, Ms. Wiggins.
I don't have any questions, Judge.
All right. Mr. Ryan, would you agree that if Mr. Caesar had been more forthcoming with his living situation and arrangements and who he lives with, then we might be more comfortable considering unsupervised at this time?
Yes, sir. If we had if he was living, like I said, by himself or had people, a good support system, had a job, transportation, and like I said, his own place for sure, that'd be very possible.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, anyone have further questions for Mr. Ryan?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Gutierrez, do you have any other witnesses?
No other witnesses, Your Honor. The department rest. I realized that by the attorneys trying to work this out at the beginning of the hearing made us run pretty far over. Do we need to look for possible reconvening dates or should we proceed?
How many more witnesses do we have?
I don't have any more witnesses, Your Honor. We are comfortable resting. I don't know.
I'm going to
I
ask Ms. Grant, do you have any witnesses? You're muted.
Only my client, Your Honor, and it would be brief.
Ms. Lucero,
My client, Your Honor.
is it going to take a while?
Well, I don't think it'll be that brief. I don't see it being like 30 minutes, but I think it may take a bit. And I'm assuming everybody's going to want to cross-examine him, so.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to recess and reconvene. I've got 2 more hearings this afternoon. So, Brittany, let's look for a date to reconvene. What do y'all think? Maybe another couple hours?
I think maybe just one more hour, Your Honor. What about this Friday? I think we've got a couple of cases on this Friday's docket.
Yeah, Teresa, I was gonna suggest that. We have our last adversary starting at 9:15, so I guess that's probably about an hour. If you want to do it after that.
Maybe if we could set this at 11, if that works out with the attorneys.
Let's do it at 10:30. An hour and 15 minutes, typical for an adversary hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then we will recess at this time. We'll reconvene this Friday. That's October. What day is October?
Third.
Can I say something?
Who's saying that?
That's my
Desiree
client.
Riojas?
Yes, ma'am. What?
I have to work Friday, so I may not even be able to show up. Because I've already called off a lot for these court dates, and I have to keep my job. I can't keep calling off for these courts, so I may not be able to show up Friday. I
Well,
have to work at 10:45.
Okay. Well, your lawyer can. I mean, I don't know what we can pick another day if that's what you want.
Can my lawyer just show up for me, and I'm not?
Yes, ma'am. If you're comfortable with that, your lawyer
Yes,
will.
ma'am. Yes, sir.
That you're comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then we will reconvene Friday, October 3rd at 10:30 a.m.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Uh-huh.